What up, people? It is your boy C. Grant. Welcome to another episode of the Guy Talk Pod, where we are honest, open, and transparent. Got my homeboy here, my brother, my friend, more than a co-host, my dog, Marcus Winfrey, Pastor Marcus Winfrey. What's up, boss?
That much, man. Getting ready for this next episode.
Yes. We on and popping with another one. And look, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the shares. Man, it's been awesome. It's been phenomenal. We've only 90 plus days into this, and the support has been tremendous. So just a shout out to the people. Thank y'all. So diving into today's episode is emotional intelligence. You know, we felt this would be a good topic, as men. We struggle with emotions too. We struggle with triggers. We struggle with traumas. And just, Marcus, things that, sometimes we don't feel comfortable talking about, right? And I felt it was good for us to have or bring to the audience or our men audience to, talk it through and maybe give some helpful solutions potentially around it. But as y'all know, if y'all been watching us, we always start the episode off with the scripture to really align us and set the foundation. Today's scripture is coming from James 1:20, and I love the NLT. I'm reading from the NLT version, and the scripture reads, "Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires." And as I was really thinking on today's episode, Marcus, it really brought me to us as men, how we can manage our anger. How do we channel it when we're triggered to be angry, whether that's from a verbal place or hopefully not physical place, but it does happen. It does happen. And one of the things I was reading on in terms of the anger piece was that pain point, should I say, understanding what triggers the anger. Is it something that has been something we've seen? Is it something we've done over time? And how do we kind of set boundaries there and really understand, okay, I need to woosah here and not go off, so to speak.
Yeah. I think that speaks to what we talk about mostly here on Guy Talk. Knowing yourself, like in order to be emotionally intelligent, you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
I know my trigger.
Yeah.
Okay. I know what's going to make me get there quicker. I know how I'm going to calm down as well. And so in those situations, it's like, how do I figure out who I am and where my triggers are?
Yeah.
That's being real with yourself. Like if I know that I don't like you to say a certain thing to me when I'm mad, then hey, look, let me tell you this before it happens.
Right.
I need you to see a credible halt.
Right.
Because truthfully, most men, we have that ability to switch. Like you can get the best, softest man in the world when you're loving all them,
right.
You take me out.
It's on. You're right. It's on the other side. Right.
And so a lot of times we as men, we are always told, don't be emotional, don't say that. So sometimes you hold that stuff in, it gets you built up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes time to get to know yourself, to be honest with yourself and say, hey, before I snap, let me learn who I am and know myself in order to be able to fight through my triggers.
And you bring up a good point in terms of self-awareness. I was thinking about that, am I aware enough of self to know that a few things, right? If I know this person gonna tick me off, I need to make a conscious decision to either not go, walk away, or be silent. And that's what I learned about myself, because I know I've been triggered numerous times by various people, which we all have, by various peoples, and the outcome always was different based upon what level they took me at, right? So they may have said something where I may have voiced the anger verbally. They might have did something where I might have huffed and puffed and turned into an Incredible Hulk and really put my hands on them, And at the end of the day, the results of that still not good. And I was reading, let me bring my screen back up. I was reading in terms of self-awareness and the pain point, difficulty in recognizing and understanding one's own emotions, going back to what you said, knowing yourself. The solution, practicing mindfulness and self-reflection. even through journaling or meditation. Now that's something I hadn't tried. That's something I need to, to really take on, probably journaling kind of when I'm angry or, thoughts. Have you journaled like out?
I definitely do. I still journal because sometimes it's not good to say those things that you feel it and when you're in those moments.
Yeah.
So sometimes it takes some time to write it out. One thing I've learned about me is if I can't say it, I get frustrated.
Yeah.
So I'll say it in my journal while I'm writing. And sometimes I might say some stuff I shouldn't say. And when I'm done with it, if I want to keep it, I keep it. If I not, I tear it out, throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
But at least I got it out.
Yeah.
So journaling is something good. But there's also other different ways that you could do stuff. Like I have a motorcycle. I take a ride on the bike. Hey, clear my mind. Play some music, ride, let the wind hit me in the face. I'm gonna be fine. You know. But there's all different ways. Some people might not do that. Some people might like to play their game in their room with their earphones. Some people might like to listen to music. Some people might need to just go outside or go fishing. Anything. You're learning those different ways to cope with the things that you need to cope with today.
And I experiment with that about, I guess it's been about a week and a half ago. Had a disagreement with someone and didn't go off, really just shut the conversation down. And I went and wrote like a kind of a letter to God type of thing. Like, God, I'm frustrated right now. I'm angry right now. And this is how I feel. It's kind of it was like a letter to God and to myself. And, it was crazy about it. After I wrote that, spent about, 10 minutes writing, I felt like 100% better. It gave me a calming spirit, whereas that argument that took place, it didn't affect me. Now, I know I still stood in terms of what I felt in terms of right and wrong, but I wasn't to the point of really being angry. You know what I'm saying? And I think that self-awareness is key because if not, you can go into a realm that you might can't come back from.
It's easy to get into those places too because I think a lot of people, we feel that it's bad to get angry.
Yeah.
The Bible says, be angry but sin not.
Right.
So I mean, the anger will come up. There's an anger that you're going to have to experience and deal with and learn how to live through and learn how to control yourself in too. We're Christian people. Everybody that watches the show might not be, but one of the fruits of the spirit is self-control. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just because I'm angry don't mean I lose all self-control that I have.
Right.
Don't lose all of the knowledge that, hey, I know that I need to control myself. I can't do this. I can't act like this. I can't cuss the boss out. I can't let the people at the job know that I'm not to be played with.
Yeah.
Some stuff you gotta be able to hold yourself together and be like, okay, I'm gonna be a little long suffer here because I know I got other responsibilities that come behind, or that could be messed up by my anger or by me acting out differently on something that I shouldn't act out on. A lot of times it's like, let me think before I act.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times that we don't do. It's like, they done made me that for I'm gonna
right.
And then after it's all over with, like we talk about off camera, then you sit back like, no, why I did
it?
You thought about it first, like, hold up, if I go cuss my boss out and that kick his ass over, you know what I'm saying? Then what it's gonna leave me? Like I got the wife out here looking crazy, I got the children looking at
crazy.
Like, I don't know.
I got a mark on my back because now, man, he crazy. He thrown off,
Exactly. Now your wife looking at you like, you ain't got no sense. You ain't got no sense, God.
Right.
So you have to be able to say, okay, let me control those different areas that I have going on in order to not mess up what I have that I've worked so hard against.
And lose, right. And another one I was reading about, man, this was so awesome, especially as men, it talked about kind of the self-confidence, right? And how do we as men deal with it? And it gave some statistics as it relates to women, whereas self-confidence in women is usually 35% higher than it is of men. And I found that shocking, not that women, obviously we want all, everyone to be confident in themselves, but, it was shocking to hear that more men suffer from low self-esteem and self-doubt. And I know I've had those times where, not feeling good enough or man enough, and a lot of times what I would do is, and to be quite transparent, like we say here, it was times that I didn't feel like praying. I was feeling that bad, I didn't go to God initially. I kind of soaked in it, right? And I kind of tried to think about, like, man, I really messed up, and start thinking about all my past, what I didn't get right 5 years ago. Is that why I'm suffering now? I coupled with things that maybe people even say to you that whether you react to it or not, it lowers your self-esteem, And one of the solutions, it was saying, just advice, again, y'all, this is not anything clinical. We're going to have a part 2 where we bring somebody on for this, but just one of the things, a solution, it was saying for self-confidence is to set small, achievable goals to build confidence and practice positive self-talk, And the positive self-talk got to me because we love getting that encouragement from others, But how often do we encourage ourselves, to keep going, keep pushing? Yeah, you handsome. Yeah, you got it going on. Yeah, you the prize, so to speak, as a man, And have you experienced that in kind of where you had to kind of pump yourself up sometimes? Yeah.
Life will cause you to have insecurities about yourself.
Yeah.
And life will cause you to have some areas where your self-esteem might drop. But at the same time, life will also teach you that you have to be responsible for the way you feel about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't put my feelings on how I feel about myself on somebody else because that's unfair to that person.
Yeah,
So
right.
for me, I have to affirm myself sometimes. Okay, God made me who I am. I love who I am. I wish I was taller, but I'm not.
Right,
So
right.
I'm the most handsome 5'8", heavy set brother there is around town. But that's how I have to talk to myself. And it's not to a place of me being cocky, but I'm confident in who I am.
Right.
And it didn't get there overnight because there was the times where I felt like, man, I wish I was tall. Or beating myself up, like I say, on things that I did before. Like,
Right.
I can't believe I said that. That happened 10 years ago. The people don't even remember I said it, but I'm still saying, I just can't believe I did it. I can't believe I did it. But those are times where you have to say, you know what? Those are some of my imperfections, but I'm still good.
Yeah.
Even after I mess up sometime, I can have a really rough situation, really rough time. And I have to still tell myself that you're not a product of what you did. Right? You're not a product of your mistakes.
Right.
Let me rephrase that. You are not the mistake that you make. You
Yeah,
got that person.
yeah.
Okay, I lied. But you're not a liar because you lied.
Right.
Repent. Get it straight. And then fix that and then tell the truth. One thing about it, like when I was younger, I was afraid a lot. I was always very fearful. So I never told the truth because I didn't want to catch whooping. I didn't want nobody looking at me different. And so in order to build the confidence to say, hey, whatever happens, gotta happen. But this is the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't like me for that, I'm not gonna keep lowering myself, lowering who I am, lowering my self-esteem, or lowering my confidence in me because I can't face what I did or face other people who
Yeah.
will be disappointed at me.
Yeah.
And also with men, we don't have a lot of outlets like women do to be
Yeah.
emotionally over people because first
that
of all, he's
vulnerability,
soft.
going back to that
Exactly,
vulnerability,
he's
yeah.
soft.
Yeah.
He too soft for you, a man. Man,
Yeah.
do it like okay, I am manned up, but I still have it. I still have an emotional side as well. You want me to be like use a marriage for example. You want me to be emotionally available, but you're not giving me a safe place to be emotional. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So those are things that men have to say. Okay, I do have some areas I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Like if you have somebody, if you have a circle of some people that you can actually talk to discuss some things. Hey, I want to be a little open with you about something. Let me talk to you about these things, and that way it'll help you to keep you from blowing up or jumping out or
Yeah.
flashing out or having blackouts where you don't know what happened. Everybody in the house scared of you now because you done fell out. But if you learn how to be open enough to say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I need to talk about. It don't make you soft.
Man, safe place is everything. You spoke a million on that one. That safe place is everything. 'Cause I know, it was times I used to, it was a front in terms of me smiling and giggling in front of people, just to go home and feel a certain type of way, whether it was about my outward appearance, whether it was something internally, or whether it felt like I had missed the mark and people, reminded me of my past, reminded me that you remember, I know it's 2023, but remember what you did in 2019? Don't forget that. I remember when you did X. And transparently, that used to just bring me back down. It just used to just man, it just used to flatten me, and I didn't know how to manage. I'm over these past 3 years or so. I learned how to manage and really say, I know who I am and whose I am, and every day ain't easy because I have flashbacks, I flashbacks about my weight, I have flashbacks about my appearance, I have flashbacks of if I'm, man enough, good enough, father enough, in the work environment, am I getting it right in the work environment, how my, people see you, but then I had to really, think back and said, I can only come to all of these places in my true, authentic self. I can't put no front up to say, okay, I'm going to act this way and do this, because then now I'm falling into a bucket of people pleasing. And all that's going to do is make me more feeling less confident, because then I'm trying to meet a mark that's not achievable. That mark isn't achievable, being a people pleaser. It may look like it is, but it's not,
Let me jump here, right? You said something. You were like, people remind you of your past. I love it when they do that to me. At one point, they used to get me. But I said,
Yeah. I don't also.
okay, I told her that's somebody here, but I told her redemption that God gave you. So you could hold it all you
Right. That's awesome right there. That's awesome. I know that.
So you can hold on to the ass all you want, but I know the other side.
Right.
You're not gonna have me beating myself up on something that I repented and been forgiven.
Right.
You can all let yourself in there, man, but watch how I continuously grow and come out of what I was in, because I feel I'm good.
Maybe think about something. We're not having a conversation with someone. The only person that hadn't forgiven me in this situation is you, because God didn't forgave me. I didn't forgave me. The only person in this situation that hasn't forgiven me is you. And now that's something you have to deal with. You take that up to God. You got it. That's a piece, and I love telling people this. And men, listen good here to this. When people try to bring up your past, where people try to shoot you down for a mistake you've made, whatever it is, back to what Marcus said, that kind of been there, got the sweats, got the T-shirt, all that stuff, but God has redeemed me and renewed my mind. Stay renewing your mind every day, and understanding who you are and whose you are. But yeah, that's the one. That's the one. People.
By the renewing of your mind.
Yes.
That's a daily walk. Every day we got to renew this mind.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
That ain't me no more. I'm not that person.
Right.
No I did it. It's not me no more. And
Right.
I don't want to hear about it.
I don't hear about it.
People try to bring it up. That's who I used.
Right. I don't live there no more. That ain't my address no
I
more.
don't have a point. I'm trying to show you I'm different. You
Right.
know I am.
Right.
I know God
Right.
did the thing. I know what happened on the background.
Right.
I'm not open about that.
Right.
I'm free.
I'm free. Ooh, that's big. I'm free. I'm
Brother,
free.
that's a good one. Let me drop that. A lot of brothers, we have to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made the baby. I cheated on the wife. I cheated on the girlfriend. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Please forgive me. I'm free from that.
I'm free from that.
Okay, you can't live in condemnation.
Oh, no.
Okay, you can't
Oh, no.
live in a place of trying to always please somebody or make somebody understand that what happened. I messed up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It happened. You can't live there.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
going to keep you in those negative places in your head space, in your mind, because I'm trying to live at a place of making you free from something that I'm free from.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not my place.
That ain't my place
I made
to do.
the mistake. I repented. I've asked you for forgiveness. If you can't forgive me, leave it alone. But other than that, I'm free from that thing.
Yes.
Thing. And then so,
Yes.
brother, we got to understand that you have the ability to be free from anything that you've done. Any mistake you've made, any place you've been, you have the ability to be free from it. And it's okay to say, hey, I messed up enough, and if I have to lose what I did or lose people because of my mistake, that's my consequence.
consequence.
But
Yeah.
I'm okay with taking that consequence
Right.
because I can't live in condemnation.
Yeah.
And I don't need to live around people that's going to keep holding it over my head.
Right.
It's like you trying to bring a sad cloud behind me. The devil is a
The
light.
devil is a lie. Don't bring that around me. Don't bring that. I've taken accountability. God has forgiven me. Now, whatever you got going on, keep that over there. Keep that over there.
Sometimes it takes, in a situation like a marriage, right? It doesn't happen just once you say I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm not trying to say negate the fact that there's some work that's associated with it, but we're not about to be mad at the cold drink that I jumped out the refrigerator for 5 years. That's
Right.
not about to happen.
Right.
You got to get over that.
Yeah. That's real.
But yeah.
No, that's good. No, that's good, man. And it brings us into the next one, which I found was good too. Stress management. Difficulty handling stress and anxiety, right? And as men, and I read the solution in a second, but I just want to stay there. And difficulty handling stress and anxiety. As me and as I was kind of, praying over all of this, and just, God was revealing to me in terms of, as providers, men have that certain level of responsibility, accountability, and provision that we have to. It's just what it is. God has placed us here as men for those things. Those three things, many more, but just speaking on those three things, right? And as men, I think it's in our DNA because we want to provide, right? We want to be good examples, right? We want to ensure that our wives and our kids have everything they need. But the private battles, right? The private battles. You may be stressed out in front. You may stress out in front of your wife or your family, your kids. But I know for me personally, I'll sit in the car for 30 minutes sometimes before I go in the house. Not necessarily because anyone in the house has done me anything. I'm stressed over about the bills per se. I'm stressed over about the plan that we're trying to execute to ensure we have a long quality of life, for the family, for the kids. Things at work, and I'll sit in that car in that safe space, at least for that time being, and really think about that. So stress is one of those things that say in terms of a solution, learn stress reduction techniques and seek support when needed. And I didn't really like this answer online, and I'll tell you why. I didn't like it. It seemed too simplistic, right? We all feel like, okay, I should talk to somebody, right, in terms of seek support. And then stress reduction techniques. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of men don't know how, don't know how to do those things.
I agree with what you read. Get some help.
Yeah.
Right? Stress is what we all will deal with at some point or another in our lives.
Right.
And one thing I'll say for a man, married man, whatever, we are built to handle a lot more on the stress side than our counterparts, right? When I was married, I would bear the brunt of the stressful situation of the house. How the lights don't be, that's my job. I got it. How it's gonna happen, that's on me. I don't need you to stress about those type of things. And as men, most men I feel like if it's something that ain't happening, I'm stressed about, okay, how I'm gonna do it. But I'm not stressed to the point where I'm not functioning either.
Yeah.
Where I'm not even reasonable too. It's a stress, okay, I know it has to be done. And I'm the one that has to be the one that is leaned on to get it done. So the stress comes from, okay, I know I got these bills to pay. I know I have this household to run, and I got a supervisor or a manager that's giving me hell at work.
Yeah.
Okay, so the stress comes from, I really want to do something wrong, but I'm gonna do right. And so sometimes it's stressful because it's like, man, I'm still a man. You know what I'm saying? I still have I'm still who I want to be, but stress. You become a little stressed when you say, I don't want to do it, so I'm gonna bite my tongue. And a lot of people, man, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. But when you really understand life and how it goes, sometimes you can't. You have to be. Let me say something. And when you get so frustrated, call somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, man, tell you about this rascal, man. He didn't bear me, man. Or if that's, I'm just speaking on job. It could be at home. It could be your wife that frustrates you. We're gonna breathe a little bit, and then I'm gonna come talk to you. Look, that made me mad what you talked about. But dealing with finding different ways to deal with that, you know what I'm saying, is also, there's different things. Everybody has stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? We all have things that we do to relieve our stress, to find ways that we can look at and say, okay, I was stressed out here. This helped me last time, so let me try it again. Or I tried that, it didn't work, so let me try something else. There's different things that we could do to relieve our stress. A lot of people have a lot of different things that they do.
Yeah.
Some people
Go to the gym, for example.
go to the gym, take a walk. Taking a walk is a good one. Walking outside alone. Just having some quiet moments to meditate, like you talked about. Having those things in place to where we can get the help that we actually.
Yeah. I was talking to a brother of mine a couple weeks ago, right? And we talk often because he calls me when he's having certain challenges, and we talk it out, in terms of, some of the same experiences I may have had, or maybe I just listen sometimes. Sometimes I ain't even got an answer for him. I listen and I go pray for him later and ask God to reveal that answer to him, right? And he was saying, Big Cat, that's what they called me growing up. He's like, Big Cat, man, I don't know if I should stay or go, talking about, his wife. She do this, she do that, she do that. And I didn't ask him if any of those things were true per se, in terms of what he felt was true or not true. When I asked him, I said, so what was your response to her? And how did you respond when she expressed those things to you, right? Did you respond from a place of anger? Did you respond from a place of not listening? Did you respond from a place where you were just cutting her off and not letting her finish what she was saying? And I say all that to say, you may be causing yourself some unnecessary stress by not listening, because people take listening as, I agree with everything he's saying. No, I'm hearing you out. I'm being respectful and hearing you out, as long as it doesn't get out of hand where, it goes a different direction. And so long story short, he said that he got angry and just left. I said, well, leaving probably was good because you probably didn't want to say or do something you wanted to do, but did you communicate that? And I say all that to say in terms of how we communicate as men, to each other, to our wives, to others, being able to say, look, I understand what you're saying. I don't agree with everything, but we're going to talk about this in a couple of hours afterwards, and that can alleviate some undue stress that we put on ourselves, and prayer, I can't stress it enough, and a lot of people say, man, I was so mad, I ain't think about praying. We all have been there where, for whatever that situation that it made us mad, we ain't put God first. We all have been there. We reacted. We was reactive versus proactive, right? But, talk to God on saying, God, look, you know me better than anybody know me. This is a pain point. This is an area of concern for me. I need you to step in and show me or put someone in my life that's going to help me move away from the stress, unable to manage stress, anger, where if I get angered, I'm cussing everybody out or I'm putting my hands on people or not really loving people and giving them grace like I'm supposed to, So that was a long-winded version of that, but I just wanted to stress that in terms of our men to really think about what you're thinking about before you say it,
That stresses though, Clarence, because, our stress to stress our house out.
Yeah. The whole house feels it. The whole house feels it.
They do. And when you don't know how to channel that or handle that, you're putting your hands on your wife. You like the kids too much. You mean to everybody.
Right.
You're standoffish, you're closed off. You don't talk to them. Nobody know nothing that's going on with you.
Right.
How you doing?
Right.
What you think?
Right.
Nobody wants to be around it because you still have so much bottled up anger.
Yeah.
That stress has turned into anger.
Yes. And you put a whole depression cloud over the house. The whole house depressed.
You haven't dealt with that.
You're right.
So
right.
I would telling the man, figure out how to get that deal with that stress.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And if you can't talk to what's in the house, get somebody that's non-biased.
Yeah.
That you can just be able to release some of those things with.
Yeah.
One of the best things I could do is get a therapist.
Yes.
Because days when I'm stressed, when I don't have nobody to talk to, or I don't want to tell my business to other people, I could call my therapist. And I would never hear nothing. I've never heard nothing that I say it back to me ever.
Right.
And I've been doing this 3 years.
Or used against it.
Exactly.
Or used against it. Yeah.
So when you have that, be that person to say, okay, I was stressed. Let me figure out a way to dispel this because I don't need to bring that home.
Yeah.
I need to bring that and have my whole family stressed out because I'm stressed out.
Right.
My wife scared of me, the kids scared of me, so I'm sitting around here. I really need a little affection, but I can't say it.
And then you shut off their willingness to be vulnerable with you. They don't want to come to talk to you because they fear daddy about to react and blow the whole house down. I don't care if I'm in the right or the wrong, daddy about to cut up. So now everybody shuts down.
That could be another topic for another day.
Yeah.
I know we're going to have a therapist on here.
Yes.
Going to be able to help answer
Yes.
some of these things or kind of move into some of that. So, when you see this video, if you see some stuff that you want us to talk about, give us some questions that we could talk about whenever we get the therapist on with us on the next time. But we want to hear from you. We want to hear about some areas where you struggle at. You guys have been doing wonderful with your feedback, with the way that you come in and talk to us about different stuff. We love it. We love to see it. Keep those comments coming. Keep the information coming. We love to see it. And guarantee you, we'll see you next time on the next episode. This Guy Talk.
Guy Talk. Peace.